Okay. All right. So, this is the podcast. This is Greggy P's podcast. This is a new attempt. I'm still trying to do different things and weird things and, probably just messing stuff up instead of just doing what I was doing. But you know what? I feel like I'll get into it here, but I'm just trying something different. Trying something not completely radical, but kind of radical. I think it's radical. I hope this is all working well. So setup's a little bit different here. I got my hair all messed up, probably cat hair in my eye. But welcome to the podcast. This is going to be a live podcast. I'm going to try and do a live podcast from now on because that way I don't have to save files to my computer, and I can just start streaming, and then that's the podcast. No editing, just me talking for however long I feel like it, and then that's the video. So welcome. I hope you all are having a great day. Some new equipment here. Obviously, I don't want to keep spending money on equipment. That's not really going to do anything for me, but here I am. So this is going to be the intro song now. I messed it up. I'm sorry. Anyway, welcome. Today's theme of the podcast, streaming into the void. Could be screaming into the void, but yeah. All right, I'm sorry about that. All right, so I got a few things that I want to talk about today. If you're new to the channel and don't know, I'm basically someone that's creating a channel and just trying to figure it out as I go. What am I going to talk about? Who knows? Who cares? Hopefully you do. Well, I hope you care. As far as what I'm going to talk about, I barely know. Anyway. I got this little mini keyboard. I was going to start making beats maybe and start my rap career. And, it's going great. It's going great. Having a lot of fun with that. Anyway, so talking about becoming a creator. I spent a lot of time watching YouTube videos about becoming a creator, just kind of like what you should do if you want to become a creator. And I realized a lot of the videos that I was watching were basically just talking about how to become very successful. In their definition of successful was just gaining a lot of followers, blowing up, basically becoming an expert in some sort of category. And through that, you have to create a niche or find a niche, whether that be sports, psychology, crime, true crime, marketing, any of that stuff. You just find a niche, just become an expert on that niche. Probably something that you already know a lot about, and just kind of go from there and do that. And you know what? I don't want to talk about what I know, because what do I know? I know that Socrates says he said this. Socrates is dead. Hope you didn't. I didn't break your hearts telling you that. But Socrates has been dead. Anyway, one of his most famous quotes is, "All I know is that I know nothing." And that was one of the smartest guys that ever existed. So who am I to say, what do I know? Because that guy was pretty smart, and he didn't know jack diddly. So here I am, and I'm going to be talking about just what I want to talk about with these videos. Obviously, I want to talk about what it's like becoming a creator that actually gets a viewer once in a while. I'll let you know once that happens. But basically, what my purpose is for my channel is, and these podcasts, is that I just want to be a synthesis of ideas that I come across that I find is important. Whether that be books, just my screen flashed. So sometimes your screen's going to flash and you're going to have no idea why it did that. You're also just going to realize you're just not having a good hair day in the middle of your podcast, and it's going to make you very, very self-conscious. I really hope there's no background, like little sound for this. If there is, I apologize. I don't know how to fix that, and makes me want to scream. Anyway, I'm getting a little dopamine rush from just recording here. So anyway, some of the more important ideas that I came across this week that I wanted to share is that I was watching. I want to credit people. Don't necessarily take it as an endorsement of you to go follow them unless you find the ideas that I relate from their ideas important, and then go ahead and follow a much more successful creator than I. But there was a creator named Dan Koe. I've seen a few of his videos. I don't know what his major area of expertise is, but the videos that I've seen about him are about creating. So, which I've kind of noticed, kind of going back to like what it takes to be like a successful YouTuber or content creator is that nowadays you really just have to like copy what everyone else is doing in the moment. Copy the trending thing, find out what else is trending, and put your own little spin on that, so that when people are looking at those kind of videos and content, they'll click onto yours after they watch their favorite creator or whoever, and then they'll see what a different perspective is. And you know what? That's cool. That's whatever. Anyway, he was talking about just what it took to become like a creator, how he like his process as to like finally figure out his path to like creating content and doing stuff. What he felt was important was just writing for 2 hours a day in the morning, and I find that to be, something that I wish I did more. I've had a journal that I was definitely a lot more active in writing in my own journal when I was really, really depressed. I remember looking back. I'll jot down in it, try to fill up a page here and there when I remember and give it time. But I look back to like the end of when I was very active in writing in it, and boy, that guy had problems. So, I think journaling is important. I think writing. I do enjoy writing, whether it be nonfiction. I kind of going back to my last video. I try to be a lot more in depth in like try to focus down on a video idea as to like what I should be or like the kind of theme for the video. I try to like talk about why consistency is important and like the steps in being consistent. I think that was the video. And I look back at it, and it was like I was giving a book report, and I really didn't like my tone or my methods of creating that video. I didn't want to watch more than 2 seconds of it, so why did I expect anyone else to want to watch it? So I am not going to do that anymore because, I want people to actually want to enjoy watching what I'm saying. And even though there was probably some sort of important message in that video, why would anyone want to watch it? You could have like the most important kind of message to give out there, and unless someone actually wants to listen, no one's going to listen. So there's a house across the street from me, and they have a little balcony, and it's got like grass for like a pee pad for a dog, and in the corner of the balcony it looks like a dog, but this whole time it hasn't moved, and it's starting to make me not concerned maybe, but I think it might be a statue. Anyway, today I wanted to keep talking about just kind of what this podcast is going to be about, and the synthesizing of ideas. And one of the main ideas that I came across was in a video by the man of David Bayer. If you're familiar with him, he kind of crosses into the metaphysical ideas of life. A lot of what he talks about has to do with just kind of becoming the higher version of yourself, how to open up the possibility of just becoming a better version, and the idea of self-improvement. As far as I can tell, maybe he would say something different, but that's kind of what I'm getting from him. So, one of his videos that I watched this week, he was talking about becoming a fourth dimensional person, and this was kind of like one of the ideas I've had for like a video if I ever actually got into like creating good content or with meaning and editing and yeah. Anyway, my idea of becoming a fourth dimensional being that he kind of talks upon was just how we live in a three-dimensional space. Obviously, we're not. My idea of a two-dimensional being would be like Mario in a video game, where it's not that just that he lives in like a linear. If you remember Mario, even before Mario 64, but just Super Mario, he just kind of moves left to right, up and down. He doesn't move like that. But more in the two-dimensional being in the sense that he lives in a linear space, that he has a certain amount of limitations that he can do. He has only certain levels that he can live in. He is I don't want to get into the fact that he's controlled by another being, because then that would mean we're being controlled by fourth dimensional beings, which I don't know. I don't even want to open that bag of worms. But two-dimensional in the sense that he only lives in certain planes of existence, and he can't really move out of those. And in the sense that we're three-dimensional beings, we only occupy the three-dimensional space, moving between our house, work, wherever we want to go, the woods, lake, insert place here. And in order to become a fourth-dimensional being, if you don't know, the fourth dimension is time. So it's really hard to move throughout time. The only time that exists is right now. I can't move back to tomorrow or move back to yesterday or forward to tomorrow. I have to exist in the time that is right now. I can't even go and try and redo that sentence. I have to accept the fact that I said it wrong. I said you can't go back to tomorrow. Anyway, but you can affect the fourth dimension or yourself in the fourth dimension. And by doing that, kind of what he was saying was you have to envision where you want to be in a certain amount of time and picture the steps that have to be done in order to get there, in order to actually get to that place in that fourth dimensional place. Anyway, that sounds like a lot of mumbo jumbo. So, where do I want to be? Where am I moving to in the fourth dimension? To me, I want to go to a place where I actually have a setup that doesn't make it look like I just bought a bunch of electronics off Amazon and threw it on my desk. I want to have a channel that maybe my live stream gets more than 0 viewers. 1 or 2 or 5 would be cool. But that takes time. And I have to keep doing the work in order to get to that place. Some of that work is literally just putting out content. And, that's why this is part of the podcast. I'll stream. I'll throw out my ideas. I'll talk and create content that hopefully people, stumble upon and they realize that they want more. So by doing that, I even get a good chance to make sure everything looks good in the background here, but it does. It looks about right. So what my content is probably, I realize, isn't going to relate to everybody. Not everyone's going to hear what I'm saying and find it interesting or thought-provoking, but you know what? That's not the people that I want to listen to my channel. David Bear was also talking about in that video is that not everybody really thinks about self-improvement, which really kind of stuck with me because, I'm always thinking, and I'm thinking about thinking and thinking more about thinking, and then I realize I think too much, and then I try to cope with that by just doom scrolling or distracting myself. So that's also part of why I'm trying to become a content creator, is that I'm trying to consume less content and trying to put stuff out more. Maybe I could just go outside instead of sitting in my guest room and just rambling into a microphone. But, the possibility of making money from just sitting in the grass isn't as prevalent as becoming a content creator. And you know what? Is everything about money? No. Does money make the world go round? Yes. As the Wu-Tang Clan once said, cash rules everything around me, dollar dollar bill, y'all. Anyway, yeah, I know this is really rambled, speaking really fast, not a whole lot of coherency, but you know what? That's just me practicing. This podcast is really more for me than an audience, obviously, because there is no immediate audience at the time. I really do need want to practice just talking, just getting comfortable in front of the camera, behind a microphone, trying to be able to organize my thoughts in a way that I can create something. Is it this necessary podcast that's going to blow up and get me to that fourth dimensional space that I want? No. But what David was talking about in his video also was just kind of riding a wave through the fourth dimension, I would say. If you're familiar with rap culture, you know that there's the expression of riding a wave. And what that means is just kind of following momentum in something that is bigger than yourself. Some examples of waves would be like, what's the popular kind of clothing to wear? What's the popular drink to like promote in your videos? Rapping about certain topics that get people like hyped, and kind of like, oh yeah, this guy knows what he's talking about. This guy's part of the culture. This guy knows what he's talking about. This guy's cool. And just following that kind of wave, following a person that is, very popular, riding somebody else's wave. But you know what? The waves are going to be out of your control, whether you like it or not, whether it is focused on you or not. But it is all about finding the wave and riding that wave to get to where you want to go. So visually, I would look at it is, imagine you're bobbing up and down the ocean, and you find maybe you're a surfer. It probably works better if you're use this as a surfing analogy instead of someone just trying not to drown. But imagine you're a surfer. You got to catch the wave to help you go, ride the wave back to the shore or do your tricks or whatever you're doing. If you are just sitting in the ocean on your surfboard and the wave hits you and you just kind of go up and down, yeah, for that brief moment, it's fun to go up and down like it's a roller coaster or something. But to really do the thing, to really surf for a good amount of time, you have to ride the wave. So what I'm trying to do is I kind of have a little bit of a wave. It's like I'm in a little wave pool and it's going boom, boom, boom. I'm going, boom. But I'm trying to it feels good. Like some of the things, like I know that doing this, what I'm doing right now, is kind of like giving me a little bit of a dopamine, like when I posted like my first actual YouTube video that I spent time creating and doing, I did get a little bit of a whoo. So I'm trying to find a way I can sustain that net positivity of me creating something that feels meaningful to me and that is kind of generating some attention, which we can get into whether or not I like attention. Not really, but you know what? That's just kind of what it is. So me trying right now, this is me trying to create or hop on the wave of consciousness and creativity that carries me to the destination that I want to go, which is me moving through the fourth dimension to a higher place. And yeah, so this is more for me right now. A little baby wave right now. Little yeah. Little yeah. Yeah. So obviously in the future, I'm not gonna try and rush these podcasts. I feel like I'm rushing through it. I'm trying to get all my ideas out as fast as possible, and that is probably a horrible way to create content, to create a live stream that, should last a while instead of just me and verbally vomiting all over my microphone. I hope you are enjoying just kind of like the ideas that I've been kind of throwing out when you watch this in the future, because you're not watching it at the moment that I'm saying it. Anyway, so I just kind of want to talk about kind of like the technology of becoming a creator so far. I've right now I'm using a webcam that I purchased years ago, probably closer to 10 years ago. I have a computer that I bought closer to around the same time. A monitor that was a TV I bought for when I went to college in 2012, so that'd be 14 years ago. But then I have some newer stuff that I've purchased, like this little keyboard, which, honestly, as much as like it'd be cool to like generate money from creating content, sometimes you just have to find an outlet to be creative and to really just let your brain flow a little bit differently. I got this little keyboard beat maker. It's the MPK Mini Play. If you can see that in the camera there. It's not really a piano necessarily. Obviously, it has the keys here and everything, but it's definitely not for like learning how to play a piano. It's just definitely got a set of like a small octave set, and it has like the drum. Anyway, kind of just something that I spent money on in order to like musically entertain myself or stimulate myself that way. I did start trying to like watch YouTube videos on like how you, like very basic ones. Like I spent kind of like a day or a few hours just trying to learn not learn Twinkle Twinkle Little Star, but literally just practice getting my fingers in the right spot so that I can follow along like Guitar Hero in order to play a little song. And I keep going back to like how practice, just things take practice, things take consistency, things take time. And, I feel like I do spread myself thin when it comes to just focusing all of my energy into one place of creativity. I know this is like one of the main ones that I really want to work on. In the comments, let me know what are some things that you feel like you want to be better at, but you just never find the time to like actually do. That's called generating audience participation, audience comments. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, I just feel like it doesn't hurt to like try and learn new things. I feel like it's good for people. I don't, like I said, I want to stop just doom scrolling. I feel like this is all an attempt to just stop looking at my phone so much. And, there's nothing wrong with that. Do what makes you happy as long as it doesn't infringe upon the freedoms and liberties of other people. I feel like everyone should be able to live their lives in their own pursuit of happiness. I also feel like I just have a hard time settling down and relaxing. So instead of, I spent time watching TV and looking at my phone today already, and I spent the whole time going, you should probably get up, shower, and work on, that live stream that you just want to do, that podcast. Create something, and that's just part of my brain, and I know that's just how I'm wired. That's how I work. That's how I operate, and I'm not going to apologize for that, and I know I'm going to drive myself crazy if I do it or don't. I just feel like my mind's going to blow up either way, so might as well say I did rather than live with regret. What was the expression? Better to live life knowing you tried than a life with regret. That's not the quote. I really tried to make it up as I went, but I didn't get it. But you get the gist. Anyway, I have to work today. Let me know if you got work today. If you don't have to work today, congrats. I hope you enjoy your day off. It is a beautiful day outside here. I really Don't know the weather. It says it's 81 degrees, 82 degrees. Hope y'all are enjoying your summer. I hope y'all have been able to get outside. And if you live in Minnesota, it's nice that it's not super smoky out. I know a lot of places are dealing with wildfires in their area. So thoughts and prayers to all those people. Just a reminder that nothing is ever given, so just enjoy everything while you can. Like this little ditty. I've been practicing "Creep" by Radiohead on this. Hold on. It's kind of close. I hope. Let me know if you get it. Let me know if you recognize it. Anyway, yeah. So I really am probably just gonna start streaming these podcasts. I really don't want to sit and edit videos. I really wanna. I know how to do that. It's not something I want to work on. It's definitely something that comes with the territory as far as being a content creator. But I feel like the best course for me is that I just get better at synthesizing ideas, better at creating streams of thought that flow better into these live streams. Oh, also, I didn't really get into why I want to stream, but I really, one, yeah, I don't want to sit and edit a podcast and upload it. I would rather, or just use all the data that I can use, all the room on the external hard drive that I have. I think it's a lot easier to just stream right to YouTube and use their servers to hold all of my content versus filling up my 1 terabyte hard drive, external hard drive, because everything else is already full. And I don't know if you know this or not, but memory is super expensive nowadays thanks to data centers. So, might as well just use the data centers to my advantage by just uploading a live stream straight to YouTube. Pro tip. I'm already a pro. Not really. I just know how to kind of cheat the system here and there. So, yeah. So that's why I'm gonna start streaming these videos. Does that affect the amount of content or amount of people gonna click my video? Maybe. Who knows? Maybe I could create, at least a thumbnail for these videos, and that way it's not just me sitting on this couch looking like a freaking dad. I gotta spend more time getting ready to make these videos, to be honest. I kind of do these last minute, kind of just like, oh man, it's literally Saturday, and I tell myself I want to upload once a week. Kind of bouncing off that, I want to talk about some of the things that I don't want to do that a lot of the creators or YouTube channels that talk about content creation say that you should do in order to get more clicks, get more views, get more of the things that successful YouTubers have. But one of them is have a defined niche. I like I said earlier, I just rather kind of just do the reps of just sitting on camera and just talking. And I know that's probably not the best way to generate an audience because I could sit here and ramble, but I really do feel like some of the things I have to say are relatable, important. That dog still hasn't moved. Is that a dog? I feel like it is because it's leashed, but it's literally just had its face pressed against the rail for like this whole time. And it hasn't moved. I feel like it has to be a statue. I don't know what that is, but it looks like a dog that just isn't moving. Anyway. Anyone have a ghost in their house? I really hope I don't. Or ghost dog living across the street. Do I have like a freaking front butt right now? What is going on? Anyway, yeah, live stream my videos because that's cheaper and easier for me to do. Not necessarily better for people watching, but you know what? just watch it anyway. You know you want to. You know you just want to watch this raw, unedited form of me. You know, watch me get comfy and just kind of talk for a while. And I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna. Maybe. Maybe. Let me know. Do you like this? Is this how you want me to podcast? If you're just listening, you really should be watching. Anyway, some of the other things that they say you should do, have a thumbnail and a title before creating. I actually did think of this title. It's called "Streaming into the Void," because it's a really good play on screaming into the void. So here I am streaming into the void. 0 viewers, 0 comments, 0 listener engagement. So thank you all for that. Yeah, but no thumbnail. I'm guessing it's just gonna be. Oh, it's buffering. Why is it buffering? Okay, we're back. We're back, everybody. We're back. OBS, are you still working? Is everything still working? Not my hair. My hair's not working for me, but that's okay. I should get a haircut. How many people need a haircut but don't want to because it might reveal how bald they are actually getting? Oh, just me. Just me. Okay. And then everything else, I just don't want to copy things that are trending in order to hop on the hype train. I feel like, the other day my mom said I've been one of those guys that just marches to the beat of his own drum. So why change? Why change for YouTube? Just because I want money and fame and success doesn't mean I gotta change. Does that happen to people? Do people change with money, fame, and success? Do they become completely different and unrecognizable to their friends and family that they've known for years? That is something. So who knows? Maybe I didn't like myself in the first place. So if I change, that's just fine with me. Anyway, some of the things that I do want to do that some of the creators have said is just post more consistently. Like I said, I've been very kind of anxious as far as posting or kind of just like creating. I know that this isn't very hard. This doesn't look hard. I really hope you don't think I'm like going all out by just sitting in front of this camera and doing a couple of these. That's not very difficult for me to do this, and I know. Probably the hardest part was just thinking of things to talk about while I am streaming, not necessarily recording, but it is recording. So, I just need to sit down. I know that, like I said with my last video where I just talked about posting with consistency or just being consistent is the key to success. The first and last part of accomplishing a goal, setting your goal, and then getting to that finish line are the easy parts. The hardest part is just showing up every day in order to build yourself to achieving that goal. That is the hard part. So yeah, for me, that would just be, sitting down, thinking of topics and stuff to really delve into while I'm talking on this podcast. So I'll work on that. It's definitely something I have to keep moving on. And then another thing that I need to do more is probably just, interacting with more creators. And the thing Dan Coe was talking about as far as his writing, it's not necessarily sitting down and just writing a script for your video or your content. It would definitely be also writing like a newsletter. A lot of creators talk about how they have a newsletter. Basically, you get your subscribers or whoever to give you their email. That way, if you do end up losing like your entire YouTube channel or whatever platform you post on, that you're able to still reach out to like all your fans and subscribers through that newsletter or email. Do I know what my newsletter would be? Who knows? Do I probably need to do that if I'm going to actually be successful? Operate this like it's a business and try to actually, create something. I probably should. But you know what? That's just later down. Right now, I just really need to work on just my own voice, just actually getting the work in, kind of having a presence, uh, being able to create something that I'm willing to show people, willing to be proud of, and that really does take time as far as just creating my own mindset and mentality of what is it that I am doing. And this is a little bit, even just today, just sitting here and talking, I've already feel a bit better about everything. I kind of need to check the time. Oh, it's almost okay. Anyway, so that's what I got to say about that. What am I at for time on the video? How long has it been? It's been about half an hour. There is no way that this has been about half an hour. Oh, it's about 36 minutes. That's actually crazy. So I appreciate it. I don't really feel like I need to ramble on for much more. A good half hour of practice and a good half hour of stuff for me to look back on and kind of review like how this went. Probably enough. Let me know what you want me to talk about more. If you are also a creator and kind of going through the things, let me know if any of this was relatable. If I touched on anything that you thought was kind of interesting, kind of something you want to hear more about, or if there's something related to any of that you want to hear me talk about, leave it in a comment. If you got feedback, let me know. I love to hear it. If you like this. No, just kidding. Not that. That. Give me hold on. How about? If you like that, let me know. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to make y'all happy and to improve myself at the same time. So let's see if we can get that done. This has been Greg of the Greg and P Podcast, episode blah, 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 screaming into the void. And I hope you have a great day. All right, thanks. Bye. I really don't know why I did that, but, that's just how we're going to end it.